This video was prepared for Tim Richardson BCS 555 course by Vola. Non-Latin domains. The organization responsible for managing the assignment of domain names and IP addresses has approved a new plan to allow non-Latin characters in web extensions. Known as internationalized domain names, the system is designed to globalize the net so regions around the world can use their own local alphabet characters to surf in cyberspace. IDNs will allow domain names to be written in native character sets such as Chinese, Arabic, Greek, and Russian. IDNs are necessary to expand use of the web in regions where people don't understand English. Since its inception, the Internet has been limited only to the Latin character set used by the US and many other nations. The coming introduction of non-Latin characters represents the biggest technical change to the Internet since it was created. Initially, the change was applied only to local country codes, such as KR for Korea and RU for Russia.
Companies with an international presence have always needed increased linguistic and cultural knowledge to target foreign markets, but a recent decision by the Internet Corporation for Assigned Names and Numbers will alter how companies approach their web presence by making domain name extensions available in non-Latin characters. Previously, the only possible characters for the ending of a website were the letters A through Z and the numbers 0 through 9. Now, 100,000 additional characters from a slew of languages will be available. ICNN is expecting 50 countries that speak 15 different languages to get involved within the first year. If your target market is not familiar with the Latin script, it would be a much better branding and a much better advertising opportunity to be able to use a web address with the local characters. ICNN representatives are not the only ones who think the change could present an opportunity for small businesses. There is an increasing number of small business owners that have multilingual skills or have a consumer base that's abroad or not native English speakers, and this would allow them to expand. The potential for expansion is tremendous. More than half of the world's 1.6 billion Internet users don't use English for input. The first Internet domains using the Cyrillic script were launched on May 13, 2010, after Russia was officially assigned the .rf, stands for Russian Federation domain, by the Global Internet Governing Body. Representatives of the Internet Corporation for Assigned Names and Numbers handed Russia its Cyrillic Domain Administration certificate at an Internet forum that kicked off in Moscow. The arrival of Cyrillic on the Internet, where Latin characters have long held a monopoly, follows a similar switch last week when websites in Egypt, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates began using Arabic script in their web addresses. ICNN Chief Executive Rob Bockstrom said the new native script domains will help make the World Wide Web even more global. Igor Shogolev, Russia's Minister of Communications and Mass Media, was among the top officials who came to the forum to hail what many have already described as the birth certificate for Cyrillic Internet domains. More than 30 million Russians are regular Internet users, and the country had the fastest growing Internet community in Europe. Russia has started registering domains in Cyrillic. Russia.rf is the first one of them. New names have started appearing in the Cyrillic zone of the Russian Internet very quickly. Recent registrations include such websites as sex.rf and mortgage.rf. The cost of .ru premium domains on the secondary market is about $10,000. The casino.ru domain for instance, was sold for $235,000. On November 11, 2010, the .rf domain became open to the public and was met with the tidal wave of registrations as the website owners clamored to score their Cyrillic domain. Just an hour after launch, nearly 80,000 registrations had been made. A week later, and almost 500,000 addresses had been taken. The first complete Cyrillic address is president.rf for the office of the President of the Russian Federation. Meanwhile, the software industry has some catching up to do. One example, it is common in many applications and emails for Latin-based web addresses to automatically become highlighted in blue as a hyperlink, but this doesn't always happen with the new non-Latin addresses, because commonly used software does not recognize the new multilingual top-level domains for what they are. The major web browsers, however, have all been updated. Until now, there was an easy way to test if a site was legit or not. You just look at the browser URL. If it's not PayPal.com or Amazon.com or whatever.com, then it's not those companies' websites, no matter how well they clone their layout and graphics. The non-Latin characters bring increased opportunities for phishing and other online scams. For example, some characters from different alphabets, while technically different to a computer, might confuse the casual observer, so a scammer could construct a site that looks like PayPal.com but is composed of slightly different characters. ICNN is trying to take precautions against this by making rules about how you can mix different scripts, but the changeover could also create software problems. The risk for general brand abuse is going to increase exponentially, but it's difficult already in English. So as a result, the question remains the same: what this is going to bring to us.